Have you ever watched a caterpillar transform into a butterfly? It's a process so radical, so complete, that if you didn't know better, you'd think it was magic. But here's the kicker: that transformation is not just beautiful, it's violent, it's messy, it's a total dismantling of everything that caterpillar once was. Now, why am I talking about butterflies? Because right now you're that caterpillar, and the person you could become, that's your butterfly. But to get there, you can't just grow a little. You can't just improve a bit. You need to completely break down who you are and rebuild yourself from the ground up. This isn't about minor changes or small improvements. This is about becoming a monster, not in the sense of something frightening or destructive, but in the sense of something powerful, unstoppable, beyond what most people can even imagine. The world doesn't reward the meek, the timid, the ones who play it safe. The world bows to those who dare to be extraordinary, who push beyond what's comfortable, who refuse to accept the limitations others try to place on them. This journey isn't for everyone. It's for those who are sick and tired of being sick and tired. It's for those who look at their life and know deep in their bones that they were meant for more. It's for those who are ready to stop making excuses and start making history. So I ask you, are you ready to stop being the version of yourself that the world has told you to be? And start becoming the powerhouse you were always meant to be? Because if you are, buckle up. We're about to embark on a journey that will challenge everything you think you know about yourself and what you're capable of. What is weakness, really? Is it a lack of physical strength? A deficiency in skills or knowledge? No. True weakness is a state of mind. It's the voice in your head that says, I can't. It's the belief that you're not good enough, smart enough, or talented enough to achieve your dreams. Here's the truth about that voice in your head. About those limiting beliefs, it's all lies. Lies that you've been fed by a society that benefits from your mediocrity. Lies that you've internalized and accepted as truth. And the first step in becoming a monster, in unleashing your true potential, is to recognize these lies for what they are and to reject them utterly. The last time you faced a challenge, maybe it was at work, in your relationships, or in pursuing a personal goal. Did you rise to meet that challenge head on? Or did you shrink away? Did you push yourself to grow? Or did you retreat to the comfort of what you already knew? If you're honest with yourself, I bet there have been times when you chose the easy path. Times when you let fear dictate your actions. Times when you settled for less than you knew you were capable of. And every time you made that choice, every time you settled, you reinforced those lies. You strengthened the cage of weakness that's been holding you back. I'm offering you a key to that cage. I'm showing you the path to breaking free, and make no mistake, it won't be easy. It will demand everything you have and then some. It will push you to your limits and beyond. But on the other side of that struggle, that's where greatness lies. There was once a young woman named Diana. Diana had always dreamed of starting her own business, but for years she let fear hold her back. She told herself she didn't have the skills, the connections, or the resources to succeed. She convinced herself that failure was inevitable. So why even try? But one day, Diana had enough. She was tired of watching others live out her dreams while she remained stuck in a job she hated. So she made a decision. She decided to become a monster. Now, when I say Diana became a monster, I don't mean she turned into some sort of villain. What I mean is that she tapped into a reservoir of strength and determination that she didn't even know she possessed. She started waking up at 4 a.m. every day to work on her business plan before her day job. She reached out to successful entrepreneurs, ignoring the voice in her head that said they'd never want to talk to her. She invested every spare penny she had into learning the skills she needed to succeed. Was it easy? Absolutely not. There were days when Diana wanted to quit, when the mountain seemed too high to climb. But every time she felt like giving up, she reminded herself of the monster she was becoming. She pushed through the pain, the doubt, and the fear. And you know what? After 2 years of relentless effort, Diana launched her business. Today, she employs over 50 people and her company is valued at millions. But here's the real kicker when asked about her success. Diana doesn't talk about the money or the accolades. She talks about the person she became in the process. She talks about the strength she discovered within herself, the confidence she built, the fears she conquered. That's what becoming a monster is all about. It's not about destruction or intimidation. It's about unleashing the fullness of your potential. It's about becoming so powerful, so unstoppable, that the obstacles that once seemed insurmountable become mere speed bumps on your road to success. Now, I can already hear some of you thinking, but I'm not Diana. I don't have what it takes to achieve that kind of success. And to that, I say, stop right there. Because that thought, that's the weak version of you talking. That's the version of you that's been conditioned to play small, to accept less, to stay in your lane. You have greatness within you. Every single one of you. The only question is whether you're willing to do what it takes to unleash it. So how do we do this? How do we stop being weak and become the monsters we're capable of being? It starts with a fundamental shift in mindset. First, you need to embrace discomfort. Growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. It happens when you push yourself beyond what you think you're capable of. So from this day forward, I want you to seek out challenges. I want you to run towards the things that scare you, not away from them. When you feel fear creeping in, recognize it for what it is. A signpost pointing towards your next opportunity for growth. Fear isn't your enemy. It's your compass. It shows you exactly where you need to go to become stronger, more capable, more monstrous in the best possible way. Every time you face a fear, every time you step into discomfort, you're building your muscle muscles. You're training yourself to be stronger, more resilient, more capable of handling whatever life throws at you. The more you do this, the easier it becomes. What once terrified you becomes manageable. What once seemed impossible becomes achievable. You start to crave the challenge. To hunger for the growth that comes from pushing your boundaries. Next, you need to develop an unshakable belief in yourself. This isn't about ego or arrogance. It's about recognizing your inherent worth and potential. It's about understanding that you are capable of far more than you ever allowed yourself to believe. How do you build this belief? Through action. Through setting ambitious goals and then doing whatever it takes to achieve them. Through proving to yourself day after day that you are stronger, more resilient, and more capable than you ever imagined. Remember, your beliefs shape your reality. If you believe you're weak, you'll act weak. If you believe you're strong, you'll act strong. So choose your beliefs wisely. Choose to believe in your own potential for greatness. This belief in yourself is like a fire. At first, it might be just a tiny spark. But as you feed it with action, as you nurture it with small victories and lessons learned from failures, it grows. It becomes a roaring blaze that fuels your transformation, that lights the way forward on your journey to becoming a monster. Third, you need to take full responsibility for your life. No more blaming others for your circumstances. No more waiting for someone else to come and save you. From this moment on, you are the author of your own story. You are the creator of your own destiny. This level of responsibility can be daunting. It means that if things aren't going the way you want, you have no one to blame but yourself. But here's the flip side. It also means that you have the power to change things. You have the power to create the life you want, to become the person you've always dreamed of being. Taking responsibility means looking at every aspect of your life, your relationships, your career, your health, your finances, and asking yourself, what part did I play in creating this situation? And what can I do to improve it? It means stopping the blame game. It means no more. If only, or I can't because. It means recognizing that while you may not control everything that happens to you, you always control how you respond. There's incredible power in this realization. Because once you accept full responsibility for your life, you also accept full power over your life. You stop being a victim of circumstances and start being the master of your fate. Fourth, you need to embrace failure. Yes, you heard me right. Embrace failure. Because failure isn't the opposite of success, it's a stepping stone to success. Every failure is an opportunity to learn, to grow, to become stronger. The weak avoid failure at all costs. They play it safe, never venturing beyond what they know they can achieve. But monsters fail spectacularly. They fail often, but each time they fall, they get back up stronger, more determined, more unstoppable than before. So I want you to reframe how you think about failure. From now on, failure isn't something to be feared or avoided. It's something to be sought out, to be learned from, to be used as fuel for your transformation. The most successful people in history, do you think they got where they are without failing? Absolutely not. They failed more times than most people even try. But what set them apart was their attitude towards failure. They didn't let it defeat them. They let it teach them. So the next time you fail, and if you're pushing yourself, you will fail, I want you to celebrate. Yes, celebrate. Because that failure means you're trying. It means you're growing. It means you're one step closer to becoming the monster you're meant to be. Fifth, you need to cultivate discipline. Motivation is fleeting. Inspiration comes and goes. But discipline is what separates the monsters from the masses. Discipline the mass you up at 5 and 5 on 5 on when everyone else is sleeping. Discipline is what keeps you going when the motivation has long since faded. Discipline isn't about punishing yourself. It's about loving yourself enough to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's about being committed to your growth and your goals, no matter what. So how do you develop discipline? You start small. You set a goal. Maybe it's to read for 30 minutes every day, or to exercise 3 times a week, and you commit to it, no matter what. No excuses. And as you follow through on these small commitments, you build the muscle of discipline. You prove to yourself that you are capable of doing what you say you'll do. Discipline permeates every area of your life. As you become more disciplined in one area, you'll find it easier to be disciplined in others. It becomes a part of who you are, a core trait of the monster you're becoming. 6, you need to surround yourself with other monsters. You've heard the saying that you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Well, if you want to become a monster, you need to surround yourself with other monsters. Seek out people who challenge you, who push you to be better. Find mentors who have achieved what you want to achieve. Join communities of like-minded individuals who are committed to growth and excellence. As you become a monster yourself, you'll naturally attract other monsters into your life. Success breeds success. Strength attracts strength. As you elevate yourself, you'll find yourself in the company of others who are doing the same. This doesn't mean you need to cut ties with everyone in your current circle. But it does mean being intentional about who you spend your time with and who you allow to influence you. Where are the people around you lifting you up or holding you back? Are they encouraging your growth or feeding your doubts? Remember, becoming a monster isn't a solo journey. Yes, the work is yours to do, but having a community of fellow monsters, people who understand your drive, who support your vision, who push you to be better, can make all the difference. Seventh, and perhaps most importantly, you need to define your own version of success. Don't let society dictate what success looks like for you. Don't chase someone else's dream. Figure out what truly matters to you, what lights you up inside, what you're willing to fight for, and then go after that with everything you've got. Being a monster isn't about conforming to someone else's idea of greatness. It's about becoming the fullest, most authentic version of yourself. It's about unleashing your unique gifts and talents in a way that serves the world and fulfills you deeply. This requires deep self-reflection. It requires asking yourself hard questions. What do you really want? Not what do your parents want for you, or what society says you should want, but what do you want? What would make you leap out of bed every morning, excited to start your day? And once you've identified that, once you've defined what success means to you, commit to it wholeheartedly. Let it guide your decisions, your actions, your transformation. Now, I want to be clear about something. This journey of transformation, this process of becoming a monster is not a destination. It's not something you achieve and then you're done. It's a lifelong commitment to growth, to pushing your boundaries, to becoming more. There will be days when you falter, days when the old, weak version of you tries to reassert itself. Days when you question whether it's all worth it. And in those moments, I want you to remember this. The greatest battle you will ever fight is the battle against your own limitations. The greatest victory you will ever achieve is the victory over your own doubts and fears. So when those moments come, and they will come, I want you to stand tall. I want you to look in the mirror and remind yourself of who you are and what you're capable of. I want you to recommit to your journey, to your transformation, to becoming the monster you were always meant to be. The world needs more monsters like you. Not the destructive kind, but the kind that inspire others through their strength and determination. The kind that show others what's possible when you refuse to accept limitations. The kind that change the world through their refusal to stay small. The impact you could have if you fully unleash your potential. Think about the lives you could touch, the changes you could make, the legacy you could leave behind. That's what being a monster is all about. It's about becoming so powerful, so influential, that you can't help but make the world a better place just by being in it. Becoming a monster isn't something that happens overnight. It's a gradual process, a series of choices and actions that compound over time. It starts with awareness of your current state, of your habits, of the thoughts and beliefs that have been holding you back. This awareness can be uncomfortable. It might force you to confront parts of yourself that you've been avoiding. But it's necessary, because you can't change what you don't acknowledge. Once you have this awareness, the next step is to make a decision to change, to grow, to become more. This decision needs to be firm, unwavering. It needs to be a commitment you make to yourself. A line in the sand that says, from this point forward, I choose to be different. With this decision made, the real work begins. This is where you start implementing the principles we've talked about. This is where you start pushing your comfort zone, building your self-belief, taking responsibility, embracing failure, cultivating discipline, surrounding yourself with other monsters, and pursuing your own definition of success. This part of the journey isn't always pretty. There will be days when you stumble. When you fall short of your own expectations, there will be times when you feel like you're not making progress, like you're stuck in the same old patterns. But here's what I want you to remember in those moments. Transformation is not linear. It's not a steady upward climb. It's a series of ups and downs, of steps forward and steps back. What matters is not that you never falter, but that you always get back up. Every time you choose to push through when you want to quit, every time you face a fear instead of running from it, every time you pick yourself up after a failure, you're becoming more of a monster. You're building the strength, the resilience, the determination that will ultimately lead to your transformation. And as you go through this process, as you shed your old weak self and step into your power, something amazing happens. You start to inspire others. You become a living, breathing example of what's possible when someone refuses to settle for mediocrity. Your transformation becomes a beacon of hope for those around you, igniting a spark in their hearts and minds. This ripple effect of your personal growth is one of the most profound aspects of becoming a monster. As you push yourself to new heights, you unconsciously give permission to others to do the same. Your colleagues at work start to adopt your relentless work ethic. Your friends begin to question their own self-imposed limitations. Even strangers, observing your confidence and energy, feel compelled to reassess their own potential. But this influence comes with responsibility. As you become more powerful, more capable, you have a duty to use that power wisely. A true monster isn't just strong for the sake of being strong. They use their strength to lift others up, to create positive change in the world around them. How you can use your newfound strength and capabilities to mentor others, to contribute to your community, to solve problems that matter. Your journey of personal transformation can be a catalyst for broader positive change. Remember, though, that not everyone will understand or appreciate your transformation. Some people, comfortable in their own mediocrity, may feel threatened by your growth. They might try to pull you back down, to convince you to return to your old, smaller self. These naysayers and doubters are tests of your resolve. They're opportunities for you to demonstrate the strength of your commitment to your new path. When faced with their skepticism or criticism, stand firm in your conviction. Let their doubt fuel your determination rather than diminish it. In fact, learn to welcome resistance. Embrace the challenges that come your way, for they are the forge in which your monster self is tempered. Each obstacle you overcome, each doubt you silence, each fear you conquer adds another layer to your armor, sharpens your claws, amplifies your roar. As you continue on this path, you'll find that your definition of what's possible begins to expand. Goals that once seemed out of reach become stepping stones to even greater achievements. The monster you're becoming doesn't just meet expectations, it shatters them. This continuous expansion of your horizons is crucial. Never allow yourself to become complacent, to think you've arrived. The moment you believe you've reached your peak is the moment you start to regress. A true monster is always hungry for more growth, more challenges, more opportunities to test and prove their mettle. Set audacious goals for yourself, dreams so big they scare you, ambitions so grand they seem impossible. Then go after them with everything you've got. Because here's the secret, those impossible dreams, they're only impossible for the old, weak version of you, the monster you're becoming. That version of you can achieve things beyond your wildest imagination. But as you chase these grand ambitions, don't lose sight of the day-to-day work that makes them possible. Becoming a monster is as much about the small, consistent actions as it is about the big, dramatic moments. It's about the discipline to stick to your workout routine even when you're tired. It's about the commitment to your craft that keeps you practicing even when no one's watching. It's about the integrity that guides your actions even in the face of temptation. These daily choices, these moments of deciding to do the hard thing instead of the easy thing, are the building blocks of your transformation. They may not feel significant in the moment, but over time, they accumulate. They accumulate compound. They create the foundation upon which your monster achievements are built. As you progress on this journey, you'll start to notice changes not just in your capabilities, but in your very perception of the world. Challenges that once seemed daunting become exciting opportunities. Setbacks that would have once derailed you become valuable lessons. The world itself seems to expand, filled with possibilities you never before recognized. This shift in perception is a crucial part of an metamorphosis. It's not just about becoming stronger or more capable. It's about seeing the world through new eyes. The eyes of a monster don't see limitations. They see potential. They don't see problems. They see solutions waiting to be discovered. Cultivate this new vision. Train yourself to look beyond the surface, to see the opportunities hidden within challenges. Develop the habit of asking, how can I? Instead of stating, I can't, this change in perspective will open doors you never knew existed. As your monster self emerges, you'll also find that your relationship with fear changes. Fear doesn't disappear. Even monsters feel fear, but your response to it evolves. Instead of being paralyzed by fear, you learn to use it as fuel. You recognize fear for what it often was, a sign that you're pushing into new territory, that you're growing. Embrace this fear. Let it energize you. Let it remind you that you're pushing your boundaries, that you're becoming more than you were yesterday. The weak run from fear. Monsters run towards it, knowing that on the other side of fear is growth. This new relationship with fear will serve you well as you tackle increasingly significant challenges. Because make no mistake, as you grow stronger, as you become more of a monster, the challenges you face will grow accordingly. The universe has a way of rising to meet you, of presenting you with obstacles that match your growing capabilities. Welcome these escalating challenges. They are signs of your progress, proof of your growth. Each new challenge is an opportunity to flex your monster muscles, to prove to yourself and the world just how far you've come. But as you face these greater challenges, remember that being a monster isn't about going it alone. Yes, you're becoming incredibly strong and capable. But true monsters know the power of collaboration, of leveraging the strengths of others alongside their own. Build a network of fellow monsters. Seek out those who complement your strengths, who shore up your weaknesses. Learn from them, grow with them, challenge each other to reach new heights. In the realm of monsters, competition gives way to collaboration. Because true monsters understand that when we lift each other up, we all rise higher. As you build these relationships, as you tackle greater challenges, as you achieve things you once thought impossible, you'll find that your identity begins to shift. The weak, limited version of yourself becomes a distant memory. In its place stands a creature of power, of purpose, of unlimited potential. Embrace this new identity. Own it fully. Let it inform every aspect of your life. How you carry yourself, how you speak, how you think. Let it guide your decisions and fuel your actions. Because the more you embody this monster self, the more natural it becomes. the more effortlessly you'll continue to grow and achieve. But even as you embrace this new identity, remain humble. True masters don't need to boast or brag. Their actions speak louder than any words could. Let your achievements, your growth, your impact on the world around you be the testament to your transformation. Remember, too, that becoming a master isn't about reaching a final destination. There's no finish line in this race. It's an ongoing journey of growth, of pushing boundaries, of becoming more. The moment you think you've made it, the moment you become satisfied with where you are, is the moment you begin to regress. So always be looking for the next mountain to climb. Always be seeking out new challenges, new ways to grow, new horizons to explore.